Yeah, obviously it is recording three volcanic news just are in Suwanese-jima volcano. Stronger than usual explosion built up more than a 2 kilometer tall plumes. Etna, weak but constant strombolian activity continues. Lava volcano. La Palma volcano. Lava continues to flow while eruption intensity gradually decreases. This is a screenshot I took from the chat. I'm not involved in those. I haven't wrote any of those. But the green one was not involved in this little piece of conversation I took a snapshot of, but the red one and the yellow one. And let's just read it. It's the general attitude of real scientists and their view of layman. Your term with him last night, feeding the fire of ego. I already have, Lee. I don't know what he means by that or what he's referring to. There is a lot of ego in science. Even scientists say it's a problem. Don't need your help or approval for that. So, I guess you also have figured out that the person in red is the scientist here. And he's also one of those who kicked me out of that chat, or live chat from watching volcanoes. I won't tell you which channel it is. It's the same, like they get really, really quickly offended. Like they have to really defend their paradigm, like in things what they're believing in. Reason for that? They have no proof or whatsoever for what they are like, what they're believing into. Crustal shifts and all these kind of things. Like scientists a few days ago, they said that, yeah, the possibility that Grimsvötn volcano in Iceland erupts are 50-50. And then they said that, yeah, the meltwater will trigger the eruption. And now they say the flood has stopped. And even though the pressure release was somewhat like, it doesn't matter, it might erupt anyway. Yeah, scientists say. So they basically somehow admit that they can't predict or anything. So what's the theory worth if you can't predict anything or even prove that what you are saying is correct in ways that everybody understands? For example, let's go to a laboratory and build the things we need in order to show what I mean with my theory. Plate tectonics, they shear against each other and create heat, and that's why the volcanoes are growing there where the shear zones are and these kind of things. And strange graphite accumulations exactly at the spots you need it at the shear zones so they can slip better up and down or back and forth, those tectonic plates. Really? How does the graphite know to go there where it's needed? Doesn't make sense to me at all. Or the lightning, volcanic lightning is created by ice crystals. It's the static electricity of the ice crystals when they collide with each other. That's why you have lightning in the hot ash plume of a volcano. I just don't believe it. If one of those can build a laboratory exercise, or how you ever call that, where they have this kind of hot ash plume 1,000-degree hot magma flowing out, and they can show me those ice crystals which create this lightning. I might have to say that, yeah, I was wrong. And you were right, because I can see your ice crystals. Now I see what you mean. I understand. I know. But I think it will take still a long time until they can create these kind of hot ash bloom ice crystals. And so it's about the same with nowadays science. Like if you disagree, if you thought for yourself about things and really try to figure out like how they really work and uh, keeping your suspicious but open mind receptible for new information and make conclusions about them and connecting dots and comparing to other things and make your mind up about like paradigms and all these kind of things. So I'm not exactly sure, but I'm quite sure that this person in red here was the one who got really offended about the ice crystals in the ash plume. I don't know. I tried to explain my second smallest kid, which is 6 years old, that there's probably no ice crystals in the hot ash plume, and she was watching me at that. What are you trying to explain me? It's a volcano. There are no ice crystals in that. And I thought, yeah, I agree with you. And it's just somehow funny that how many thousands of really well educated people, so called adults, or even scholars, they just, I don't get it. How is it possible that they really think that it's like that? Someone once said that ice crystals create lightning. Yeah, we don't care if it's an ash plume from a volcano, which might be really hot. You're gonna die if you fall into that. But we have ice crystals. Doesn't make sense to me at all. Just doesn't. And the other thing I was thinking about, like, if there is this kind of system in our society which is built upon somewhat education. Actually, this is wrong. I have to make it again. Let's make it again. I made a mistake because people, like let's say uneducated, they haven't been to university or whatsoever. Then we have scholars, and then we have politicians. Which are on the top. So if you are a scholar, you also already have this kind of influence because you teach people. But there's a really an easy way to get on top of the scholars, to get really a huge amount of might, or how to put it. And you will be immediately above the scholars because you will decide if they get money or not and for what they get money. And actually, it doesn't need any education. You just start to be a politician. And I don't think that's a good thing. And recently, we had news here where the scholars or scientists, or however you put them, they were referring to the politicians. So first, someone, which was one of us people, went to university and became a scholar, educated person, which is like so high up. You don't have to talk with usual people anymore because they are not one of your kind anymore. They don't understand you. First, many years, many thousands of dollars, or whatever money you use in your country, you become a scholar and you have this kind of whatever reputation and stuff. And still, without any education or whatsoever, you can make a shortcut and be a politician and be above the scholars. Doesn't make a sense to me any. Like, what? Just doesn't. But I leave it here. Thanks.